The people of Erie, Pennsylvania have noticed that Tom Segura has been vocal about his hatred for Erie on his podcast. Hi, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Erie residents are wondering why Tom Segura feels so strongly about the town. Years ago, writes the Erie News, Tom did perform stand-up in Erie and left with some strong opinions. According to Dave Litz Jr., who owned Junior's Laugh Laugh at the time of Segura's visit, a large group was attending one of Tom Segura's shows at the club. Because of it, Tom was asked to work clean that night. Did Segura work clean? Litz said he did, and he did a great job. So I'm not sure what the beef is. High Times caught up with TJ Miller. If you're High Times, good booking. I'll leave it there. High Times asked TJ Miller, with this special, you wanted to capture the feeling of being present. TJ said, that's exactly it. It's everybody being present, like, whoa, this is all happening. I feel very there. I think that's the strength of this thing. The special was like lightning in a bottle, how we caught unplanned awesome moments, and then it all happened to go so well that this guy, who's probably the biggest fan I've ever had become the actual star of the show. I just thought it was so neat, and I love that you feel really present in the audience, because we rarely feel that when we watch a special or something on screen. High Times asked TJ, what are you hoping people will take from the special? TJ said, one thing would be that I'm a stand-up comedian. A lot of people don't know that. There's a lot of people who are like, wait, he does what? He was awesome in Deadpool. Let's go see him in real life. Then suddenly they see me and they're like, whoa, you're actually really funny. TJ was asked about getting ready for the special. I did a run of 18 shows in 10 days. That's a lot. 2 shows a night, and on some nights, 3 shows. I was preparing what I was doing during the pandemic. It was originally called the Pandemic Special, and I had all these aims to get the funniest possible version of that out there. It was also kind of a time capsule, and it ended up that this kid changed the special for what it was completely. It became about him, which is why I renamed it Dear Jonah. Nobody wants to hear about the pandemic anymore, and I think it's almost more interesting that the special is more loosely about him than it is about me. High Times Magazine, with the good booking of TJ Miller, asked TJ, let's talk about cannabis. How is it part of your life? TJ said, it helps me look at things with a different direction. It lets me look at my career or a project or my marriage with a different lens, and it's really become part of how I make those shifts. Today, I had an edible. It's nice to be able to smoke when you're not drinking. Most of the time, I enjoy chilling down and looking at things differently. Weed is really nice for that. In terms of material, I definitely do think of some stuff when I'm high. I'll chime in. No way. TJ said, again, it's shifting your perspective, but I really wouldn't say I need it for creativity, and I never go on stage when I'm high or drunk. It requires too much effort. I'll drink when I'm on stage if everybody's partying, but I really won't smoke before I go on. I used to do a quick toke before meet and greets, and that was really fun. I'm so interested in people, but you're meeting 25 to 50 people, so it was fun to get a little high and interact because they're all drunk or high as well. Well, none of them are sober, so that's a fun way to do those. And then the interview gets into some very specifics of cannabis consumption that is above my pay grade. I don't understand any of it. Not my scene. You do you, TJ Miller. Adam Sandler says that working with Uncut Gems directors Josh and Benny Safdie reminded him of Saturday Night Live. This from the AV Club. First of all, those directors should be awarded the Nobel Prize for something. They got Adam Sandler to make a really good movie. Do you understand what an accomplishment that is? This is the guy who made Jack and Jill. Hubie Halloween. They somehow got Uncut Gems out of him. Sandler says, working with the Safdie brothers, boy, I just remember that whole process was fun, getting to know those guys, getting to be with those guys. Kind of felt like the old days, like early SNL, hanging out with a group, going to places together, being in a project together. I just felt like I had great teammates there. Well, good news. He's working with them again on a secretive new film. It'll enter production this winter, Sandler says. So part of my brain's going, wow, once that movie starts, I'm in deep and our lives are going to change. Like everybody, when you work hard and you're tired and you're knocked out and you miss out on some stuff you wish you could have seen. But ultimately, I know it's going to be a few months of going after a goal that we all feel the same about. We want to do the best we can. There was a fantastic article on the Financial Times. Apparently you're home for comedy news. Their question, what makes good comedy today? The sub-end line as debate over cancel culture rages. The New York comedy scene grapples with the line between provocation and offense. The writer found herself watching Dylan Adler in a spacious bar in Brooklyn. The room is a mainstay of the alt-comedy scene, which is often more queer and more experimental. Adler, 25, is a rising star within it. Adler's act includes musical numbers, backflips, stories, and impressions. Most of his comedy is about his mother parenting him and his brother, half Japanese, half Jewish, identical twins who are both gay. Here's one of his jokes. He's on a bike in Williamsburg and crashes into someone who falls down. And there was this big muscular Jack dude, so I thought, should I run away? Is he going to beat me up? But he was such a woke white Brooklyn guy that instead he was like, oh, I deserve this. The crowd laughs. Then he found out I was half white, and then he beat me up. The crowd laughs again. I said, no, it's the Jewish half, and he was like, Zionist. Financial Times adds, a popular theory of humor is called the benign violation theory. devised by researchers Peter McGraw and Caleb Warren. It says that for something to be funny, it needs to be both a violation and benign. It needs to seem wrong or unsettling, but also okay or safe. If someone trips and gets hurt, it's not funny. It's not benign. If they don't fall, there's nothing to laugh at. No violation. But if they trip and they're fine, that's funny. That plus good timing, plus understanding what your specific crowd will consider a violation of benign, all together makes a good joke. Adler agrees, and once again the conversation goes to Dave Chappelle and Ricky Gervais. Adler says, I don't believe their comedy is being completely benign. People who watch the transphobic language in Dave Chappelle's special, and then it encourages them to start misgendering their own kids, I don't think that's benign. In the moment, it could feel that way, but when you walk out and that's the message, it's harmful. Also, why would I be invested in Ricky Gervais's idea of trans people? Creatively, why would I care, and why does he think people would give an F? That doesn't sound interesting or even exciting to watch, in my opinion. And from the Art newspaper... Now you wish you hadn't already used the Your Home for Comedy News joke, Johnny Mac. All right, the Art newspaper, Your Home for Art News, apparently. The comedian Hannah Gadsby's antipathy towards Pablo Picasso knows no bounds. That's the second Picasso mention on this podcast in like a week. In her 2018 show Nanette, Gadsby ventured into one of the thorniest ethical debates when she talked about Picasso in his mid-50s sleeping with underage Marie-Therese Walter. Oh, I didn't know that when I mentioned Picasso last week. Now I understand, everybody. Okay. Hannah said, okay, let's give it a go. How about you take Picasso's name off his little paintings, see how much his doodles are worth at an auction? Effing nothing. Well, Gadsby is now turning her hand to co-curating an exhibition about Picasso at the Brooklyn Museum. This will happen next year between June and September. The project will, quote, engage some of the compelling questions young, diverse museum audiences increasingly raise about the interconnected issues of misogyny, masculinity, creativity, and genius, particularly around a complex, mythologized figure like Picasso. And from Yahoo, Elon Musk is a fan of comedian Nathan Fielder and tries to make him laugh at parties, according to a profile in the New York Times. Musk and Fielder interacted on Twitter in 2016 after Elon shared a photo of his, quote, dumb Starbucks coffee mug, a nod to one of Fielder's business projects that went viral. Musk tweeted, my coffee tastes unusually good this morning. Fielder responded by saying, shoot me into space, please. Musk replied to that, don't you already have a spaceship? Since their Twitter friendship, Musk has invited Fielder to his parties to try to make him laugh. Elon Musk is also known for stopping meetings to watch clips of Monty Python. I think I've done that too. That's your comedy news for today. Follow the show for free. I'm not kidding. I think I actually did that at Sirius. Follow the show for free on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. There's also an audio version only on YouTube, if that's more your vibe. See you here tomorrow.